This is just the beginning. That's the world that we live in. Let me help you believe in what we can do when we stand united. We are one with the world. We can make a brighter tomorrow. Together make a change. It's our life. We can't step back from what we know is right. So let's shine our light. Oh, let's shine our light. We won't listen to what they're saying. We know it's just love that we're giving to this place that we call our home. We can't change what's been done, but it's still our run. We are one with the world. We can make a brighter tomorrow. Together make a change. It's our life. We can't step back from what we know is right. So let's shine our light.
Welcome everyone to the Catalyst 2030 informative session during Catalyzing Change Week. We're super excited to have you here with us. First of all, thank you for joining Catalyzing Change Week. I hope it was a fun event for many of you and that you got to meet social innovators, get inspired by the amazing sessions that we hosted this year together with the rest of the community of Catalyst 2030. As I put in the chat, we are thrilled to get to know you. Today is really just for us, me and Maria, my colleague from the membership team, really to share all the information you might need about Catalyst 2030, but really also to give you the space to ask any kind of question. So feel free to unmute, raise your hand. We want this to be as interactive as possible. We are going to be sharing the slides that we're going to be talking through today with you in an email after today's session with the recording. So you're always going to have time, well, the opportunity to go back to the slides. But again, if you have questions, if anything came up as you were attending Catalyzing Change Week throughout this week, feel free to put it in the chat. We also have a question and answer section there in case you're super scared that your question is not going to be read. But Maria and I are more than happy to welcome you to this session and also help you decide if you want to join the community, and in case you want to join the community, start your journey with us. So please do put in the chat your name, email, name, organization, and country. I'm Maddalena. I'm an Italian based in Italy, but usually based in Spain, Madrid. And I've been with Catalyst for the past 3 years and a half now. It's been an amazing journey with an amazing community. So really hope that you'll be inspired to join us. We can move to the next slide. Thank you, Mari.
Hi, I'm Sanjoy Roy, the co-chair of the Catalyzing Change Week Programming Committee. Welcome to CCW 2024. This is where you'll meet social innovators, change makers, folks from government and from bilateral agencies. And of course, this is a place to look at best practices, share ideas and innovations, and enjoy networking with each other. Welcome to the session. Hi.
Thank you. The Catalyzing Change Week is really the culmination of Catalyst 2030. Everything you have experienced over the week, if you have been able to join more than one session or any of the sessions, that you really got the sense of what Catalyst 2030 is about. So today's agenda, as I was saying at the beginning, is really for us to share a little bit more about Catalyst, about this amazing community, share how are we working, what is our mission, vision, and values, which are centered at everything that we do in Catalyst. I'm going to be sharing a little bit about the chapters, what we call the chapters, so community at the local and regional level, the collaborations, the different flagship campaigns we have, so all the information you need about Catalyst. and then share a little bit about the membership journey with us. So how you can join, what do you need to do, what we can do to support you. Of course, question and answer at the end, but also throughout the session. Really, please feel welcome to raise your hand, unmute, and if there's anything you want to share, feel free to do so. Moving on, we have just a snapshot of what Catalyst 2030 is. This week, you have experienced maybe 114 sessions of this amazing community. So Catalyst is a global movement of social innovators and all stakeholders that are included in the social innovation section and in sustainability, coming together really to accelerate action towards systems change. As of today, we are more than 3,100 organizations from across the globe in 138 countries, and really looking at getting to all the world and making sure that everyone is able to join this amazing movement. Organization can join with their whole team. So if in case you are representing an organization, just know that you can invite all your team to join us, because really we think that achieving the sustainable development goals and system exchange is done collectively. So we're 4,800 individuals. That really gives us a huge community and a huge power when we want to both collaborate, but also just change behaviors and change the way we think. And all our organizations are working with communities at the local level, so really changing the lives of billions of people around the world. Moving to our next slide, we wanted to share about how Catalyst 2030 was formed and why did we came about. Because you might have experienced some of the topics that we have discussed throughout this week, but there were 4 big challenges that were there at the beginning, and I think most of people in the social innovation space are still facing, and we think those are the reason why we wanted to build this amazing movement. So we're gonna play the video.
Welcome to Catalyst 2030. Catalyst 2030 was launched in January 2020 at the World Economic Forum in Davos. The movement was co-founded by a diverse group of social entrepreneurs, many of which are members of our ecosystem partners: Ashoka, the Schwab Foundation for Social Entrepreneurship, Echoing Green, and the SCO Foundation. They came together and identified 4 key challenges that are preventing us from achieving the Sustainable Development Goals by the deadline of 2030. These challenges include a lack of resources, minimal collaborations and siloed work, a disconnect between funding models and needs, and a lack of voice in the decision-making processes. By joining forces with communities, governments, businesses, researchers, and others, Catalyst 2030 members are changing systems at all levels through collective actions and bold new strategies. Would you like to connect with other like-minded changemakers and create an impact in your community? Join the movement. Join Catalyst 2030.
Super. I'm super curious to know who is experiencing the same challenges that we saw in this video. Put your hand up in case you're feeling like you have experienced these challenges in your work. Hi, Mancia. Oh, I see hands coming up. Super. So this is the place for you. Catalyst 2030 is the community that is really trying to tackle all these issues, coming together and really changing these conditions and create an enabling environment for all of you and all of us to achieve our collective goals. So the mission is really that of bringing people together. We are super convinced that the only way in which we're gonna be able to achieve the high goals that we set for us is gonna be through collaboration, through putting knowledge and resources together, through exchanging knowledge, and really making sure that we bring everyone in the same space to collaborate and unleash the collective potential for global systems change. Systems change is a very complex theme, and we are also trying to learn every day about it together with other teams that are part of the Catalyst 2030 movement. The vision is really that of achieving the SDGs, the Sustainable Development Goals by the United Nations, or at least the agenda that was set by the SDGs. We all know that by 2030 is around the corner. COVID was a disaster in terms of achieving the SDGs. But the idea of the SDGs, so really making sure that no one is left behind, that there is the way in which we provide solutions to systemic issues is by taking into account the climate, the social perspective, but also the economy. So we think social innovators and social entrepreneurs are at the center of the solutions that are able to really support the communities to achieve the systemic, the sustainability that framework that we have in mind, because they're closer to the problems and the solutions. And everything that we do in Catalyst 2030 is really connected to our values. So we have identified 5 values that are really have been defined by our members, and that we hope that in your engagement with us, or in any kind of forms of engagement you want to have with us, you're going to be able to see them and live them. It's really important for us to think of how we live actually what we are, these values. So you can see them on their screen. My favorite one is the co-creative mindset of the Catalyst 2030 community. If you're gonna be willing to join us, you're really gonna be seeing the way in which we structure everything. And I'm gonna show you in a second how we have built the structure of Catalyst 2030, but it's really done with an horizontal approach. We tend to, and we really are committed to develop everything with our members. And our members are leading everything that we do in Catalyst. The Catalyst 2030 Secretariat is there to support and make sure that the members have all the tools they need to really accelerate the change that they hope. And everything is done in collective. So keeping everyone in ideas into account and really supporting one another. Again, I really hope you're gonna be willing to join us and see and live all these values, because I think the way in which the community is really living those really changes the way in which we do things. And this is our house, or what we call the theory of change. Basically, to be able to achieve the vision that we set for ourselves, we have set 3 main objectives. As I was mentioning before, basically we really put at the center of everything we do collaboration. As you can see here, the second one is collaboration, catalyze collaborative action. We do that by bringing people together, creating a space for everyone to share an interest in a specific collaboration, and really enabling people from Uganda to connect with people in Guatemala and really decide a project they want to work on, an idea they want to spread, and really bring all their knowledge and resources together to collaborate. We have around 125 collaborations now in Catalyst 2030. Collaborations can be global, local, at the city level, in all languages. We work in 5 different languages. We're trying to really make sure that everybody's able to speak its own language within the groups that we have. An example of a collaboration is the education collaboration, for example. Yesterday, I was at the session that was hosted by the education collaboration, Transforming Education. The education collaboration is really coming together to change the way in which the education system is built around the world. And we're now breaking down into sub-collaboration to really work with the governments at the local level to change the education system. That is super, super exciting. And I hope, in case you're interested in education, you're going to be able to see the recording of yesterday's session that was really, really inspiring. But again, the beauty of Catalyst 2030 is that you can join things that are existing, like the education collaboration, but in case you're working on something super exciting and super specific, there's always going to be the opportunity for you to create something new. If you have already an idea, we have a collaborations team that as soon as you join are going to be able to support you through the process. And we're going to be sharing that process once you're able to join us. But just know that this is a community that is always going to be supporting you and trying to achieve the impact that you want to achieve collectively. The first pillar of our house is that of creating an enabling environment. How do we do that? By collaborating with different stakeholders, such as government, such as the private sector, donors, and really trying to make sure that the interests, let's say, and the knowledge of social entrepreneurs is shared with these partners to be able to create this enabling environment. An example of this is the shifting funding practices collaboration that we are going to be talking about a bit later in the session today. but it's really a group of members that are coming together to help donors and funders really shift the way in which they're giving money to social entrepreneurs and social innovators. Another example is the Government Champions group that was launched this week at Catalyzing Change. I hope some of you were able to join us at the session. But it's really a group of governments that are working with social entrepreneurs and social innovators to create a space for them to really share their knowledge and influence policies in their countries. That is what our members do in this community. And then learning. Learning is fundamental for everything we do in systems change and in all realms, let's say, of innovation. And we do have a huge community of academics that are trying to support us both in sharing the knowledge about social entrepreneurs and social innovators, but also systems change and supporting all our organizations developing, for example, theory of change or learning about different skill sets that are needed for us to grow our impact and grow our organizations. Everything is supported by a deep commitment to equity, a cultural shift. We really want to be sure that all our members feel empowered to change the world and to spread, to share their ideas and feel like they have power to do so within our community. And of course, the hope of bringing Catalyst 2030 to all social innovators and social entrepreneurs, but also all actors, because as I was saying at the beginning of the session, Catalyst 2030 is mainly built of social entrepreneurs, but we have representative of governments, corporates, civil society, private sector, academia, pretty much anyone who's really committed to changing systems and achieving the global systems change we were talking about. I'm not going to go into too much detail of this slide because it's a bit overwhelming. I'm super aware of that. But it's just a way for us to say that Catalyst 2030 is really committed to be an horizontal movement. Members are at the center of what we do. In case you want to join us, we're going to walk you through a membership engagement process that is really going to be giving you all the tools that you need to be able to be at the center of this movement and be one of the stars of this amazing community. So we have built different groups that you can see on the right of the screen. The most important one is the General Assembly. So all organizations that are part of this community coming together, co-creating solutions, celebrating one another, because celebration is a huge part of Catalyst 2030 and the way in which we live our values, but also really changing policy, sharing ideas, sharing knowledge. And then we have different groups that are basically focusing on different dimensions of the movement. The two things that we're going to be focusing on in a second are the chapters and the collaborations. The biggest, let's say, groups that we have in Catalyst that are really bringing people together either to create communities or to really change a thing in a specific topic. I'm going to have a look at the chat in case there's anyone who has any kind of question. I see Maria is already going on in the chat. Thank you very much, Mari, to do that. Any questions? Anything anybody wants to share? Or all good until now? Claude, feel free to mute. I'm going to stop sharing so I can see you. If you want to mute, feel free to do so.
Hello, everyone. Good day.
Hi.
Yeah, thank you, Maddalena. Good day. This is Claude from Cameroon, from Collective Arts Development Association, CADA. Are you getting me, please?
Hi. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, you're most welcome. Actually, we are a non-profit organization from the northwest region of Cameroon. Our mission is to transform the mindsets of disadvantaged youths through arts and social entrepreneurship. So actually, I've been going through some of the sessions for the Catalyst Change 2024, and it's been so that interesting. So for this session, and thank you very much. I want to thank you very much for the informative session, and I have a question to ask as concerns the collaboration in the network. So yeah. So come on, my question is about the specificities of the collaboration. How is there a network for particularly African social enterprises? Is there a specific network, regional network for Africans, for Asians, for Europeans? I want to know if we have some regional networks and we can work through the regional networks, kind of that. So please, can you enlighten me on that? How is the collaboration going to be?
Thank you, Claude, for that amazing question. Actually, it gives me the opportunity to speak about. So the first answer is yes. We do have regional groups that we call regional chapters that are bringing together all the organizations that are based in the same region. So we have an Africa chapter, for example, a Europe chapter, a ASEAN chapter. But in Africa specifically, and I see some of you are from Africa, we do have a campaign which is called Africa Forward, which is an amazing initiative that our chapters in Africa started collectively and is really trying to change the way in which Africa is really spotlighted. So is basically Africans for Africa. They are developing solutions in 3 different pillars, one of which is youth engagement and creating basically better condition for the youth in Africa to develop solutions, focusing on data, building the ecosystem. So it's really one of the biggest campaigns that is being developed by our members in Africa, bringing people together and really supporting the collaboration throughout the continent. Mari has already put the link in the chat so you can learn more about Africa Forward. We have had a couple of sessions over the week that were super well attended and super insightful. So again, in case you're interested, we're gonna be putting all the recordings of the sessions on YouTube, so you can always rewatch them. Sar, I see you have your hand up. Is there anything you want to ask? If anything else comes up, please feel free to put it in the chat. I see Adelaide has a couple of questions in the question and answer section. We do have a South Africa chapter, which is actually growing very quickly. So I'm going to be more than happy once you join to connect you with the organizations that we have in the country. And we do have actually, I'm reading the second question, which is focused on universities. As I was mentioning, we do have a group of academics within Catalyst 2030, and we're now creating hubs for academic hubs in different regions to bring people together to really disseminate knowledge, but also build more knowledge on innovators and solutions about in the different regions. So definitely more than happy to connect you with both groups as soon as you join. Maria and I, that is actually our role within Catalyst. Really supporting you guys to join the community and then connect with the people that interest you the most. Any last question for now, and then I'm gonna share my screen again so we can walk you through the chapters and collaboration. We do have a collaboration on data that is being set up. So actually, Amina, it would be the amazing moment for you to join and help us shape that collaboration. I think that's going to be a very, very important topic in the next years. How do we get connected to the country chapter? So basically, as soon as you join the community, you get connected to what we call the regional chapter coordinator, which is basically a member of the secretariat that is supporting the different country chapters and regions around the world. And basically, you get invited to all the meetings of that community. Social innovators love WhatsApp from what we've learned over the years in Catalyst. So we also have WhatsApp groups for each of the countries. Of course, you can decide not to join, but you're always going to be invited to the meetings of the community. So basically, you get in contact with other organizations as soon as you join. Super. I'm going to start sharing my screen again to actually show you the map of Catalyst 2030, which is showing you all the chapters that we have. And I think my screen is loading still, but now you should be able to see it. So we have more than 75 chapters that have been launched over the years. And we are launching 7 more, I think, today at the closing ceremony of Catalyzing Change Week, to which all of you is more than invited to join us. But you can see all the yellow countries are those countries in which our members have already launched chapters. What chapters really are? They're basically, again, a community of organization and social innovators at the local and all stakeholders at the local level, coming together both to build really the community, because we really believe in the power of relationships and how that can lead into collaboration and then really changing systems, creating collaborations, but also supporting one another, and also particularly enabling connection at different languages. Again, we're really committed to diversity and we want to make sure that people are able to express themselves in their own languages. But really, community and policy and advocacy are two of the things that the chapters are really pushing forward as of now, and is an amazing and super easy way for you to engage as soon as you join the community. For me, they're super inspiring. Countries that are not yet yellow, again, it doesn't mean that we don't have members or we don't have activities. For example, in Italy, you can see it's still white for now. But our members in the country have started meeting and have started defining what the priority of the country chapter should be. I think we're going to be focusing on education and youth, because those are two very important topics close to the heart of our members in the country. So always think of Catalyst as a new way for you to build new relationship and build new initiatives at the local level, but also at the global level. So always keep in mind, you can decide to engage just globally, for example, in case you want to scale your organization and just focus on the global sphere, let's say. Collaborations, we spoke about it, and I think we put the link into the chat. There's an interactive, let's say, page in our website in which you can see all the 120 collaborations, and we also put the link to the chapters. Another thing that is super, super important for us is that of creating the community of social innovators that are really changing systems globally. So we have an amazing engagement and community building team that has developed different forms of engagement that can support your engagement in case you are looking for something very specific. We really value, of course, networking and connection. That is one of the biggest perks of Catalyst 2030. By joining the community, you get access to 4,000 individuals, 3,000 organizations, really with all their knowledge, all the desire to collaborate. So it's an amazing community. And again, I can be biased, but for me, it's been really, really inspiring to see the amazing connection that has been created throughout the years. One example of the networking and connection engagement opportunity is the Conversation Cafe, in which organizations come in with an issue or with something that they want to discuss, and all the people that are relevant to that discussion are invited, and there's the co-creation that we were talking about before in one of the values. Learning, we have different ways of disseminating knowledge and creating knowledge, but we also have, for example, the systems change learning. So it's basically practitioners and scholars coming together and really building that knowledge that we need to progress basically with our goals, and also again disseminate knowledge about social entrepreneurs. Peer-to-peer support is one of the things that have been most appreciated by the members that have been engaging with the engagement opportunity. Because it's really a way for our members to come together, again, build that relationship that is then supporting you in those times in which you feel maybe a bit lonely, or you have a specific issue or challenge that you need somebody that is thinking the same way in which you're thinking to support you. So we have both tender forums, which are basically groups of people, again, social entrepreneurs, part of the community, with your same living experience, let's say, or the buddy system, which is a one-to-one match. And then well-being and bonding, again, is one of the most important things for us in terms of making sure that our members are taking care of their well-being. So one of our members, Mana Wellness, has been super collaborative and super inspiring in putting its service at basically at the service of the whole community. And they're supporting members going through the well-being journey as basically throughout their their experiences, really with a one-to-one support. So these are some other engagement opportunities. So you can see that there's plenty of entry points in which you can join the community. We know it's a lot of information, but the role that Maria and I have in Catalyst is really that of taking you by the hand and try to support you once you join the community to understand which one of this huge number of opportunities you want to select and really engage with. Now I'm going to talk about 4 or 5 of the biggest campaigns that we have in Catalyst 2030. So you can also see a bit of the global component and the global things that our movement is really pushing forward. The Catalyst 2030 Awards, and basically the Catalyst 2030 Award is a way for us to really recognize the work of governments, multilateral corporates, and funders, to recognize their work and how they have been pushing for systems change and collaborating with social innovators. So basically that's just a way for us to really highlight the work of the champions of the sectors and how they are really shifting systems in working with social innovators. The word is escaping in English, but basically you can submit the suggestions of the people that you think have been particularly good in pushing systems change around the world. So submissions for awardees are open in case you have an idea already. Catalyzing Change Week, I hope you have been experiencing the amazing sessions over the week. It's an amazing opportunity for me, I think, to really spread knowledge and connect to people around the world. So in case you have missed some of the sessions, again, we're going to be putting everything on YouTube for you to have a look. And it's really the culmination of Catalyst 2030. We have been speaking about the shifting funding practices in case you're particularly focused on, in case you're a funder, in case you're really interested in changing the way in which funding is provided to grassroots organizations, social entrepreneurs, but also really in supporting funders in doing that. We have, for example, a Dorn and Learning group that is really trying to support the shift in the mentality, in the behaviors, let's say, of our members and of our funders. Social Change Innovators is one of the collaborations that has basically grown the most in Catalyst 2030. Is a knowledge platform in which it's an open source platform in which our members, but also everyone is able to upload resources and basically learn about social innovation, how to change systems, and really how to engage with different stakeholders. So you can have a look at that platform. It's amazing the way it's growing. And you can see pretty much anything that is related to social innovators and sustainability in this platform and spread knowledge about it. The other collaboration we want to highlight is Catalyst Market, which is basically a marketplace for artisans and producers, sustainable producers, to ensure that they are able to sell their products globally in a sustainable way. We're hosted by the Good Market platform. And again, another collaboration that has grown incredibly. And now you're able even to shop on this platform. So it's really amazing for me to see the way in which this collaboration grow and really change the way in which we do things. I did my Christmas shopping this year on Catalyst Market, and you can really see the impact of changing the way in which you do things, I think. Again, an invitation for you to have a look at all of these links, and in case there's anything that you are interested, anything you want to do, once you, let's say you start your process with us, we're gonna be more than happy to connect you with each one of these initiatives. I'm not going to go through this slide in detail because I hope you were able to identify at least something that was exciting you about Catalyst 2030, but you can see there's plenty of reasons for you to join. The global impact, I think, is one of the things that are really driving most of the members of our community. but is really the way in which we come together. I think the values we live and the way in which we build the community, and then we lead into collaborations. Again, we're going to be sharing the slides with you, so don't worry. In case you have any kind of questions, you can always reach out to me. I'm going to be sending you all these documents, let's say. How do you join Catalyst 2030? So who are the members of Catalyst 2030? Catalyst 2030 is built of organizations and individuals, as we were saying before, that are really focused on creating solutions to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals. And they are really focused on systems change and social innovators. We really, as you might have understood by now, we are really putting at the center collaboration. So in case you're interested in collaborating with different stakeholders and with different organizations around the world, and you do have a solution that is addressing a root cause and that is involving social innovators and social entrepreneurs, do fill in the membership form, because you're going to join an amazing community of people that are really thinking the way in which most likely you are also operating and thinking. So how do you join the community? You just need to fill in a membership form, which usually takes around 20 minutes. There's a lot of questions there, but the reason why we do ask those questions is really to make sure that then we're able to support you with your engagement. We get a lot of information about yourself, so then we can provide you with the best engagement opportunities, but also we really believe in the value of the collective, both in policy shifts. So we use the data that we gather to really change policies around the world, but also to facilitate connection and collaboration around the world. We have now built a platform, which is called Ask Catalyst on ChatGPT, basically, that is trying to match people around the community and sharing knowledge about them. So we have put that in the chat, and you're going to be able both to ask questions to this chatbot, but also to see what are members in the community. As soon as we receive the membership form, we're just going to be checking that the information is correct and that that you are aligned with this community. And we're going to review that with the selection committee. Catalyzing Change Week is a special moment for us. So we're going to be receiving a lot of new organizations and members requests. So there's going to be a lot of work for us at the selection committee. As soon as the selection committee is able to review your application, we're going to come back to you with an answer. And most likely you're going to be invited to an onboarding ceremony. It's basically a moment in which we share all the tools and resources that you need to be able to engage with this community. And we're going to also be updating you on the most exciting things that are going to come up in the moment in which you're able to join. And then it's really feel empowered, start collaborating, start chapters, start engaging with one of the many engagement opportunities that we have shared with you today. Again, I really hope that you're going to be able to join and see the power of people coming together and really working towards a similar goal. Maria and I are here to support you. You're going to have our emails, and in case you want to have one-on-one meeting with me, there's also going to be my calendar basically in the email that we're going to be sending you. We also want to invite you one more time to the closing ceremony today. We're really going to be looking at all the outcomes of Catalyzing Change Week in the different sections of, let's say, the work that we're doing. So there's going to be a specific section on the work that we have done to provide a seat at the table to social innovators, all the updates from the chapters and collaborations that have been presenting throughout the week. So it's going to be in an hour and 15 minutes at 4 p.m. CEST today. So today is the last day of this amazing journey and amazing campaign that our community has been hosting. Again, everything is going to be on YouTube for you to rewatch in case you haven't been able to join some of the sessions. And we're also going to be just sharing a lot of the outcomes through social media. I believe many of you have already been following Catalyst 2030, but in case you haven't, just know that we're on social media and we're sharing a lot of information about both the work of our members, the collaboration, but also all the events that the community is hosting to accelerate actions towards systemic change. And I think this is the last slide of my presentation. So again, I'm gonna stop sharing. I'm gonna see if there's anything that we can support with in terms of questions. I'm gonna have a look at the chat. Again, feel free to put your hands up in case you have a question or anything you want to share. I know I've shared a lot. Claude, you have a question? Claude, can you hear us? Feel free to unmute. Whenever you have a question, feel free to unmute. Thank you for all the things that you've been putting in the chat. I'm seeing Maria has already answered most of the questions. I see, Taudo, we are a foundation created by a climate impact venture capital fund. Can we join Catalyst 2030? Yes, you can join the community. Again, fill in your membership form. I believe we need to learn a bit more about you, but definitely I can see the alignment there. So do feel free to fill out the membership form. And in case you have any specific question, feel free to reach out to me. I'm gonna put my email in the chat so that you can always reach out to me whenever you have a question. It's just my name, catalyst2030.net. Anyone else who wants to ask anything? Sar or Claude, if you want to unmute, I see your hands are up. Amazing. I'm also super thrilled to get to know you more through your membership applications. How long does it take because you get an applicant? So we are committed to stay in a 2 months maximum period since we receive your application. The process usually, in case we need any kind of information, is that we're going to be reaching out back to you. So depending on how quickly we are, let's say, to get all the information we need, then we present the application to the committee and we take a decision collectively. It's a really collective process, even the selection process. So when all parts work together, as we usually do, it's more or less a maximum of 2 months. But it can be quicker in case you're, for example, part of 4 or 5 of the networks that have been seminal, let's say, to the foundation of Catalyst 2030. So Ashoka, Schwab, Eco Green, and the Skoll Foundation, but also the Global Shapers. I see Manazia there with a background. We have a lot of shapers in the community. So in case you're one of these, you have received one of the awardees of recognition of the 4 big social entrepreneurs network, or if you're a shaper, just fill in our membership form and it's gonna be super quickly, it's a super quick process for us to get you engaged. So usually when you have submitted the membership form, you're gonna receive a thank you email from me. If you haven't received that, try to fill in the membership form again. We're gonna put the link in the chat now, because there has been a bit of confusion between creating a profile for Catalyzing Change Week and submitting a membership form. The membership form has 6 pages. Don't get scared. It's not difficult. Like it's information that it's just about you, to get to know you. So in case you have already filled in and you haven't heard back from me, just double check that the link that is in the chat is the one that you have filled in. And if not, we are anyways going to be reaching out to you very soon. We have had a bit of an inflow. We're super excited about that, but the whole team is on it. Anything else that I can share about the community? Anything you guys want to learn? I didn't mention this, but Catalyst is of course free of charge. We are a community that is very much committed to making sure that everyone is able to engage with us. So there is no fee to be part of the movement. The only thing that we ask from you is time. We think that collaboration takes time, building relationships takes time. So we usually tend to ask for 2 hours a month, which basically means that you're able to engage with one of the engagement opportunities that we have in the community. So we really hope that that's not going to be too much. We also understand that life gets crazy sometimes when you have a social enterprise. So communication is key for us. Whenever you have any kind of challenge, feel free to reach out to the membership team and we can support you, both putting your application, your membership on pause, trying to support in the way in which we engage you. Ivorine, you have a question. Feel free to unmute.
Yeah, thank you very much for your info session. It was very, very clear, very in-depth. My question just quickly is members of your organization, Oduoya and Pearl, I think in Nigeria have already reached out to us at Ashoka for a potential partnership, but I think because of this Catalyst 20, the things have stalled. So my question is, do we just continue with them? Or do we have to go through this process of filling the forms and all that you just mentioned? Or they will just handle all that for us here?
So I'm gonna double check with Pearl and Oduola. Pearl and Oduola, for everybody to know, are the coordinators for Africa Forward, so the campaign that we were talking about earlier. Most likely, you will not need to fill in a membership form because Ashoka, being one of the founding members, is already a member of the movement. But
Okay.
I will check and I will come back to you to provide you the clearest answer possible.
Okay, thank you. Well, I'll report that to my team. I'm here on everybody's behalf.
Amazing. Thank you very much. Anything else? Anything else that I can share? Any other question? Let me see the question and answer. If I've answered everything, I think so. Claude, I think your hand is still up. So if you have any kind of questions, feel free to unmute. Super. Otherwise, a huge thank you from Maria and myself for taking the time to joining us today at this informative session. We really hope to see you at the closing in 1 hour and 10 minutes. Really excited about that, about seeing all the amazing things that have been coming up out of Catalyzing Change Week 24. I've put my email in the chat and we will be reaching out to you with the recording, the slides, and all the guidelines you might need to be able to join the community. Again, I hope it was not too overwhelming. I know it's a lot of information, but it's how dynamic this community is. So really hope to welcome many of you on board of this amazing family. Unless there's any last minute comment, any last minute question, I hope to see you soon, and feel free to reach out to me in case you have any kind of questions, any kind of comments. Thank you for taking the time to be with us today, and I hope to see you soon. Bye, everyone.